Hey everyone, Eric Thompson here. Hope that you are doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I am sick. I don't know what happened, how I got this way, but it's true. Okay, got the little sniffies, got the little congestion, got the cough, and so I got my robe and my quilt, or what is that? What these are called? I don't know. Whatever. I got this one, and I got a cup of coffee because there's a lot to talk about. May have just spilled coffee on the thing I just was talking about, the quilt or whatever this is called. Afghan. Is that what this is called? An Afghan? Let's get on with it. There's so much to talk about right now in the cinematic world, and as the title of this video suggests, the Oscar nominations came out, okay, a couple days ago. We gotta talk about this, alright? First of all, let's just run through some of my predictions, okay, for 10 or 9, I think, 9 of the categories, not all of them, but for kind of some of the larger 9, okay? And I'm going to read you the nominees and both who I think should get the Oscar and who I think will get the Oscar. They do not always meet in the middle, okay? And I'm going to ask Vegas very nicely to help me by putting some text up. And also, if we have it, if it's available, put up the poster for the film. Even if it's an actor and actress, just put up the poster for that movie, okay? So here we go. Let's get started with the first category, Best Animated Feature Film of the Year. Nominees quickly are The Croods, Despicable Me, Ernest and Celestine, Frozen, and The Wind Rises. Now, the Golden Globe went to Frozen, and I feel confident that Frozen will win again at the Oscars. Of course, it's a Disney film, winter-themed, obviously, a winter-themed movie, a princess story at its foundation, which is not uncommon, of course, for Disney films, did very, very well, warmly received, and Tori has been playing the soundtrack nonstop around the house. And she saw the movie one time, you know, and so I feel very confident that that Disney will continue with their great tradition of winning Oscars, you know, with their exceptional movies. And I want to see it. I'm curious about it. And of course, perhaps you've seen some of the many other videos that have spawned from the music, which are fun. So, Frozen for Best Animated Feature. Here are a couple music categories, okay? Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures Original Song. The nominees are Alone Yet Not Alone from Alone, Yet Not Alone, Happy from Despicable Me, Let It Go from Frozen, The Moon Song from Her, and Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. The Golden Globe went to Ordinary Love from Mandela. Performed, written and performed, mostly written anyway, by U2. Of course, they are no strangers to doing movies, excuse me, for the music for the movies. And so I'm going to put my dice on U2 once again. I'd like to see Let It Go win. From what I understand, from what Miss Tori told me, the duo, Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, you know, are a husband and wife couple, and they just kind of came out of nowhere writing at least the songs anyway. I don't know about the score, but the songs for Frozen. It'd be fun to see a couple like that win, okay? Not only to accompany a win for Disney for Best Animated Feature, which is not uncommon, of course. Several times in the past, especially with Alan Menken, you've had nominations, you know, for like Little Mermaid, where you had Part of Your World and Little Mermaid win at the same time, and then again Beauty and the Beast and Beauty and the Beast won at the same time. So it would be cool to see that tradition continued, okay? The next category, or Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures Original Score. The nominees: The Book Thief, scored by John Williams. Gravity, scored by Stephen Price. Her, scored by William Butler and Owen Pallett. Philomena, scored by Alexandra Desplat. And Saving Mr. Banks, scored by Thomas Newman. My dice are always on John Williams. Every single time. They were on him for Warhorse, and he was snubbed. I haven't even seen Book Thief. It's not even out in theaters yet, so I don't think it is. Is it? I'm not sure. In any case, all my dice are on John Williams every time. I'm committed to him. Absolutely. So that's it. But if there's any second place, I'd really, really like to see Stephen Price win for Gravity. There was not a lot of scoring in that movie, but when the music kicked in, it counted. And that's probably equally as important. Of course, composers talk all the time about that, how the power of silence in a score is just as powerful as triple forte chords and, all the different dynamics that silence is just as important in. And of course, with a film that takes place in space, you're going to honor that and observe it. The next category, performance by an actress in a supporting role. The nominees are Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o, I think I'm saying that right, I hope so, for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August Osage County, and June Squibb for Nebraska. Now I know my dear mother and father-in-law want June Squibb to win because they love Nebraska so darn much. Well, I'm glad for that. Jennifer Lawrence won the Golden Globe, and I think that she will take her second Oscar home 2 times in a row. Once again, I think that she'll win for American Hustle. Julie Roberts is great, but August is just a flim-flam movie. I didn't see Blue Jasmine. I've not seen American Hustle for what it's worth, but based on the response and, of course, winning the Golden Globe, which is a fair indicator of what might happen at the Academy, or at the Oscars with the Academy, that's where I'm at. So the next category, of course, is performance by an actor in a supporting role. And the nominees are, Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips. He was the Somali pirate leader. Bradley Cooper for American Hustle. That's the guy that was in The Hangover. Don't forget that. Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street. And Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. Jared Leto won the Golden Globe. My dice are split between Barkhad Abdi and Bradley Cooper. I think that American Hustle is going to do exceptionally well in acting this year. Already has. But Barkhad is an interesting case. Perhaps you've heard that he came to America from Yemen with his family, and he studied at, what's it called, in Minnesota? Moorhead. He studied at the University of Minnesota, Moorhead. And he was a limo driver. And I think he worked at like a grocery store or something like that. And what else was it? Was he a DJ? I don't know. Was he a DJ? Whatever it is. He was just a regular guy with a college degree, keeping it real, and then, boom, Captain Phillips. His first movie ever, from what we can tell, from what I've read anyway, standing across the soundstage from Tom Hanks. What? Excuse me. This does not happen. This is amazing. Wow. And so I'd love to see him win just to celebrate that magical part of the Hollywood experience, that you can roll in to Hollywood with very little experience, but the personality and the character essence to incredibly portray, to fulfill that kind of role, and not only get nominated for a Golden Globe, but get nominated for an Oscar. Wow. Otherwise, Bradley Cooper's been in the game for a while. I think the Academy knows that. They recognize that. And from what I understand, again, hoping to see it before the awards, his performance in American Hustle quite noteworthy. I'm sorry I have not seen more of these movies. I really wish I had. Tori and I were going to go see one tonight, but she made me stay at home. She said, "You cannot go." And I said, "I will stay." Performance by an actress in a leading role. The nominations are Amy Adams for American Hustle, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. I'm going to go with American Hustle once again. I think that she will win, but I would like Sandra Bullock to win. Of course, you recall, Sandra went through all that difficulty a while back with The Blind, before The Blind Side, and what was her husband's name? I don't care, whatever it was. And they had all that trouble, which is unfortunate. And then she won the Oscar for The Blind Side, which was a great role for her. A great movie for what it was. Gravity was so special. Those who have seen it and I've talked with agree there's nothing else like it. And it's really, it's 10 years ahead of its time. Maybe 5 to 10 years ahead of its time easily. And I'd like the Academy to honor her effort in being a part of that, she beat out, George Clooney for a nomination. Not that he did a whole lot in that movie, but still, if you're in a movie across from George Clooney and he doesn't get nominated and you do, that's kind of a big deal, which is also what happened in the next category. Performance by an actor in a leading role. Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern, the legend, for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street. Did I say The Ghost of Wall Street one time? I don't know. Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. I want to bring that up, what I said before about Sandra Bullock, because where is Tom Hanks? What happened in this category? Where is he? His work in Saving Mr. Banks was not nomination worthy. He played a wonderful Walt Disney, but I thought his role in Captain Phillips was fantastic. Toria was remarking the other day, it made her cry, when they had gotten him, back to safety, and just the way Hanks portrayed the shell shock and the fear. It wasn't anything like the shell shock we saw him portray in Saving Private Ryan. It was a whole different animal. It was amazing to see how he took all of that on, from A to Z, the whole film through. But of course, you know that I am Tom Hanks' champion, and I always want him to win. Well, he's not going to win this year because he wasn't even nominated. It frustrates me. So I want to give my full nod, my full prediction to Leonardo DiCaprio. He won the Golden Globe, but he has never won an Oscar. I don't know what is wrong with people that Leonardo DiCaprio would not win an Oscar, okay? Look at the last, 5 years of what he's put out as far as his filmography goes. Amazing titles. Wow! The Great Gatsby was not nomination worthy, just like Tom Hanks and Saving Mr. Banks. It's just not going to be something the Academy is going to latch onto, He was kind of a sub-character in that movie, and the movie was about him, He had a lot more action with a lot more people. But The Wolf of Wall Street is a special, special thing. Not only because it has the blessing and the touch of Martin Scorsese on it, which comes with some challenge, but because, once again, DiCaprio gives us his range and his power and his incredible intensity as an actor. So I want him to win for himself, for the sake of his amazing repertoire. He deserves it. I hope the Academy will honor him with it. 2 more categories left. We're almost done. Achievement in Directing, American Hustle, David O. Russell, Gravity, Alfonso Cuarón, Nebraska, by Alexander Payne, 12 Years a Slave, Steve McQueen, and The Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese. Alfonso Cuarón won for Gravity. I want him to win the Oscar. Once again, an absolutely unbelievable achievement in filmmaking and in direction in Gravity. If you haven't seen it, I know it's still in some of the theaters here in town, at least in Lexington, where there are more theaters. I would urge you, please go see it. Go see it and see what I'm talking about. Please. But I really, really want Martin Scorsese to win. I really, really do. I don't believe... I'm going to check. I don't want to get sentimental for nothing. If you'll please excuse me. Martin Scorsese, has he ever won an Oscar for Best Directing? He has, but for what? I'm sorry to pause the video like this. I mean, to come to a screeching halt here. The Departed. Oh, no, he did win for The Departed. Excuse me. Okay, so I take that back. He won for The Departed, which is fantastic. And he won the Golden Globe that year also in 2006. And so, having won at least that much, that's good news for him. But I'd still like to see him win again. Once again, you have a director who's been very well praised and well decorated by both the Hollywood Foreign Press and by the Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts. But I think that he deserves one more. And even though The Wolf of Wall Street is a very difficult film, again, I've not seen it, and so it's okay if you want to call hypocrisy on me, that's fine. But knowing what I do about it and the cast that's in it, wow. I think it deserves our attention. I think it deserves the attention of the Academy. I'm not recommending that everyone watch this movie, okay? Just like I would not recommend everyone watch Pulp Fiction or The Departed even. But he does have a knack for masterpieces, as it were. So I submit that to you. And finally, Best Motion Picture of the Year. We're going to close up here. Quickly, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. 12 Years a Slave won Best Picture, the Golden Globe for drama, and American Hustle won the Golden Globe for Best Musical or Comedy. I didn't know it was a comedy. I heard it was much more cynical than that, more sinister. But anyway, it won. So those are two pretty strong contenders. Me, I'm okay if either of those win, American Hustle or 12 Years a Slave. It's not terribly uncommon for the Academy to honor motion pictures which deal with ethically, economically, culturally sensitive topics, especially dealing with 12 Years a Slave, talking about slavery, life as a slave, etc. It's not uncommon for the Academy to turn in that direction, just as they have done in the years past, especially recent years, with war films that are about the war in Iraq. The Hurt Locker especially, which, frankly, I wasn't that crazy about, but the Academy definitely was crazy about it. I think it was because we were at war. That was definitely at a great height of our armed conflict there in the Middle East. And so the Academy tends to do that, but it's also a political body, and so people sway, maybe votes are purchased, votes are bought, just like some might say in certain things that happen in Washington, Tori and I have been watching House of Cards, and so my brain's all fuzzy with all that stuff right now. Anyway, I'd still like to see The Wolf of Wall Street win. I'd be very pleased indeed if either of those two got it, but it'd be so rad if Gravity got it too. All the sci-fi nerds would be so happy. And it's not a science fiction movie, but it borders so far on the edge of what we perceive reality to be, because who else has been in that situation, in that life situation, being in the vacuum of space and all that terror and suspense. It's just not common for the Academy to decorate the films like that. It's a big deal that it even got nominated. It really is. And so I'm going to put that out there. Of course, the last time that a nerd movie swept was, of course, Lord of the Rings: Return to the King. A couple notes. One, I can't believe, again, that Tom Hanks got snubbed. Also, Monsters University, which I did not see, but that also got no attention whatsoever. And The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, left totally behind. Let me pull up the document here. I'll go real quick. We're almost done. I'm sorry to drag this on. The Hobbit's nominated for Achievement in Visual Effects next to Gravity, which is that's a high price. That's tough competition. And Star Trek Into Darkness. It's also nominated for for Achievement in Sound Mixing. Why was it not nominated for gall darn makeup and hairstyling, or production design, or film editing, or cinematography? What happened? What happened? Is it going to be like Return to the King and There and Back Again? The third Hobbit film is going to just sweep again? I don't think so. It'd be really great if it did, though. I don't know. It frustrates me. Peter Jackson is a true master at his craft. The content might not always be the best, but the product is pristine. And so I'm just a little frustrated that, of course, I love it very much. I admit that. I'm just a little frustrated that, it got overlooked. And now I want to see it again in the theaters before it leaves. All right, let's try to cut this off before we get to the 20-minute mark. I need to blow my nose and drink some more coffee and probably go to bed. So I thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel if you care to. As always, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to include a link in the description below of this video to the PDF where they have all the nominees listed out. And so this is kind of my initial reaction video, but I will do a video after the Oscars are over, and we'll recap maybe the same categories, maybe a couple others. We'll throw some more in, maybe we'll take a couple out, and we'll talk about how things went. Coming up, though, and I might literally do this. I might literally just hit stop on the record and then start recording again. I want to talk about movies that I'm excited for in 2014. Hopefully some movies which will get some Oscar recognition next year around this time. Okay, say it again. Like and subscribe if you care to. Thank you for watching, and as always, hope that you are staying healthy and doing well. Thanks, guys.